Hey, editing Gatlin here. Just here to say I forgot to record an intro. So, this is your intro. I don't know what more you want from me. I just sold all of my Legos to a third-party Lego shop. And the guy at the counter would not buy my Mega Blocks, so I just get to keep them as my, like, little toily trinkets that I get to rip apart. This skeleton came in a box of, like, 70 that I got at a Dollar General in 2019. And they have lasted me to this day. I love that box of skeletons. It's one of the greatest steals. This little rubber piece, I knew was going to be a problem as soon as I put it on. And you know what? Here I am, a month later, the paint has not properly dried. My biggest concern while building this was trying to make something that did not look like the Arbiter, which is the name of the character that this toy is based on. That's why you'll see later on in the video, in between cuts, I will add antlers to make it a Wendigo and a big mohawk to make it look kind of Centurion, just as an attempt to differentiate it from the Arbiter. I'll be real, I'm still a little pissed that the guy at the Lego store thought he was too good to buy my Mega Blocks. Does he know how cool Mega Blocks were as a kid? No, it was like Lego, but you had the Master Chief and guns. It was cool. If I could go back and change one thing about this project, it would be this guy's legs. I think I tried way too hard to make them not arbitery, but in doing so just made the Arbiter's legs again. I tried to remove the whole inverted V-joint thing, but I just ended up putting it back, just in a different, more complicated way. Anyway, this is a Games Workshop demon skull thing. I don't really know what it is. Came in the Games Workshop box of skulls, which is my best friend. Seriously, I'm not the biggest fan of Games Workshop. That box of skulls is like, just peak. There I go again, using that rubber stuff. That'll be a pain in the ass to paint. I wanted to make this thing extra sturdy because it kept breaking apart while I was building it. I was going to use armature wire initially too, but I realized a clothespin is pretty much just as sturdy and it's 100 times cheaper. You can get a box of 300 for 25 cents. And I think we are done. The next thing I wanted to kit bash with was this thing. It's this little Bigfoot toy from, I think, a Hot Wheels track. I don't know what it is about this, but as soon as I saw it, it stood out to me, and I knew I needed to do something with it. I think it's the contrast of the really bright eyes paired against the kind of cool blue. And I'm also colorblind, so I could entirely be imagining the contrast that's there. But I'm definitely going to paint the eyes something like yellow or red, something deep, something that'll, like, I don't know, mess with the color scheme overall. It's gonna take some work though, because it is mostly a complete model that just has a lot of like really icky mold lines and just strange molding things. So like, I think the first step is to get this thing disassembled, and then I'm going to cut this little bridge in between the feet so that the feet are actually separate parts. Okay. That was a lot easier than I was expecting. Just look at that. It's just hands and eyes. That's actually that's kind of some quality body horror right there. These parts look so creepy on their own. Even his back has like a strange, weird, moldish quality to it. Alright. I think the first step is to snip the feet bridge. Quentin Tarantino, eat your heart out.
sometimes I miss cutting up junky toys, like shitty off-brand toys, as opposed to big budget Hasbro Hot Wheels. Because the plastic is a lot harder to cut on the big budget Hot Wheels. I can't decide what I want to do with this thing. Maybe I want to make it like a biomechanical nightmare. Or maybe I just want to call it a day and give it some antlers, make it a Wendigo, or the Wendigo party. Nah, where's the fun in making it just another Wendigo? I've already got so many Wendigos. Where's my glue? I don't know who invented green stuff. I'm gonna assume Jackie Green Stuff did. But this stuff is magical. It's just a silly little two-part epoxy that once you mix together the green sections and the blue sections, it makes a slightly greener color, and you can just mold with it. Out of all the epoxies I've used, my favorite is probably Milliput. But yeah, green stuff is still up there. I think one of the main reasons why green stuff is up there is because it's so easy for it to not stick to your hands, because it is incredibly sticky. But just rub some Vaseline on your fingers, and it will not stick to your fingers whatsoever. Yeah, that was Vaseline chapstick. It was cheaper than the big tub, and I didn't need that much of it. I don't even go through that much green stuff.
Always scratch up your bases so that the minis stick to them, especially with something like a poker chip. It's not meant to have something stuck to it.
Alright, so it's not the most complicated sculpt, but I just gave him a little belly and like a bald spot on his tummy, gave him a bigger chin, a larger head, and some more pronounced ears, and then I gave him a hunchback and a spine. It's not a lot, but I think it'll add to the overall kind of spookiness of this guy. Alright, on to the next one. Next up is a kit bash of a Marvel HeroClix figure. No, I'd never heard of HeroClix. When I found this one, there was a lot of other Marvel characters, and there's a lot of really cool sculpts. They're not the highest quality, like you can kind of see the face is a little bit wonky, but like, look at this. This is really creepy. It's Mr. Fantastic from the Fantastic Four. But I'm gonna use it to make like a doppelgänger that its limbs like aren't the right shape because it's too long. Because that's what a doppelganger does. It doesn't quite understand the length and how long things go. As much as I like the really creepy and weird pose that this guy's in, it's not super, like, I can't really do anything with it because it's so weird and out there. So I think I'm gonna bend it using a heat gun a little bit. Kinda get it to be sort of this position. I think I'm probably gonna give him like cowboy stuff, since that's generally the aesthetic I go for my models. Old West. Alright. Alright, now that I've kind of reposed him to the way I want him, I need to remove the whole Fantastic Four getup. Specifically this, because I love like how this like skin stretch texture looks. So I'm not just going to replace the entire torso. which means I need to actually cut off the Fantastic Four logo. I wonder if this thing is really rare. It was only $2, so I hope not. That's always something that goes through my mind when I'm cutting things apart. Yeah, I wonder if this thing this thing I'm messing with, if it's somebody else would really like this, and I could make a lot of money off of it by selling it to the person who really wants it. Sorry, I was just feeling a little bit industrial today. Oh my god. That ass. Look at this guy. Ah, he's so silly. Ah, he's sick. Look at him. He's like that guy from Final Fantasy who who's really buff and like is always flexing, but he's I don't know, man. I think you need to put on a couple more bits of protein. So I ran into a bit of a problem while I was trying to kind of greebly up our little doppelgänger boy. I wasn't really sure what I was supposed to do for his gun, because I know I wanted him to have a gun. So I'm just gonna make one myself. Make a gun. The top of a clip from a pack of IKEA furniture pieces. Oh, wait, where's the camera? Modified to fit my purposes. There we go. That's not so bad. Damn it! It keeps bending backwards. It keeps trying to go back in the position it's in. It's all wonky. I just want it to stand up. No, what I want is my autofocus to work. Jesus Christ. Just a regular day in the hobby. Using a heat gun to melt Mr. Fantastic's crotch. I decided against the little gun thing I made. I think it looks kinda stupid. Although it is a little bit of a cool design, I don't think it really works for a miniature that is shaped quite like this. Quite as lanky. I need something a little meatier for this guy. A little meatier. Not that kind of meteor, that kind of meteor. You know what I'm talking? Yeah, okay. I think I'm just gonna use this gun, which I'm pretty sure is from a Star Wars Rebel, from a Star Wars Legion starter pack, the game I bought and never played, but I disassembled it for parts, because I like spending money for no reason. And just like this, I de-arm the. I think I have to do something to this gun though. This gun, it's a little bit too sci-fi for the setting I'm going for. Even if the setting is going to be slightly sci-fi-esque. I want it to also have a western twist. Which really just boils down to, I need to give this thing some sort of like, revolver barrel. Or bayonet. Bayonet's kinda cool. I might do a bayonet actually. Spare arm for the arm pile. Back in the bits box you go! See, I'm gonna have to green stuff that a little bit, which is unfortunate, but hey. It's a kind of fleshy looking guy. I kind of knew I needed to green stuff when I got into this. I think we gotta do something to the gun first, honestly. To make a barrel, I'm going to be using beads. This process I'm about to undergo is going to be incredibly annoying. we go. That kind of almost looks like something. What else can we do to that, though? I feel that needs a chunkier barrel. That to me looks like a rocket launcher or a grenade launcher or something. Yeah, I think that needs a bigger barrel. Would you look right here? What do we have but a bigger barrel? There we go. Uh-oh. Lost a bit. Bit down. Bit down. There we are. Beautiful. That's pretty sick with the bigger barrel at the back part. It's kind of just like a massive revolver. I think for extra good luck, I am going to glue on the blade thing I was using as the hammer of the last revolver I built. The hammer for this new revolver. Beautiful! I think this guy is done and well on his way to being painted, so we'll see him later. This next one is a little bit of a strange idea, but I really like it. I have a history with militarized marine life, so I'm thinking I give this octopus a bunch of swords and guns and give him a little cowboy hat. That's as far as the thought went. The first 20 minutes of this build is literally just gonna be me scratching away the mold lines in this shitty dollar store octopus. Okay, before we add the cowboy hat, and trust me, we will be adding the cowboy hat. I think that's just the last thing I want to put on, because it's really going to be the thing that makes it all come together. What I'm going to do first is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. See these things? I don't know what these are. I'm assuming they're from a board game, but there's this shop near my house called American Science and Surplus, and they just have a lot of weird stuff. I love it. Great kit bashing materials. But they were just handing out a bunch of free ones, and I just asked the lady at the counter, like, how many of those free packs of little gun pieces would you give me? And she said, how many do you want? So anyway, here I am with all of them. I'd show you the rest of them, but I don't feel like readjusting the camera. The focus has already been enough of a nightmare tonight. I just completely forgot that I had these. For some reason, I just haven't been touching them. All these little baubles, I'm sure I'll find a use for at some point. I don't know if I like the radar. I don't think I like the radar very much. Alright, it looks like I have more to cut off. Okay, I think I've bent all of the octopus arms into place with the heat gun, and I think I've also inhaled about enough plastic to build a Walmart and destroy a Walmart, and then build another Walmart. But if all the Walmarts were made out of plastic. Next up, I just have to use some green stuff to extend the tentacles, to make it actually look like the tentacles are wrapping around the guns and not like they're just sticking to the guns. Because if you look at, like, I don't know, this one, like that, it doesn't really look like it's holding it. The tentacle needs to wrap around it. And just like that, we are done with green stuff. I think the only thing I have left to do, other than painting of course, is glue on this hat, which is from a cowboy Woody from Toy Story. I got it from the Dollar Tree. Oh my god, I love the Dollar Tree. There we are. Our funny little cowboy octopus. Let me get a little zoom in on this. Yeah, look at him. Very whimsical. I kinda like that. Alright, time to send this guy off to a prime. Give me a second to catch my breath. It only took me about a month to paint for 5 miniatures. I was really busy this past month, so this video has taken me a long time to make, not because a lot of effort went into it. In fact, I'd say it's probably my easiest to edit and everything else video I've made so far. It's just that I had a lot of stuff going on, so these guys have been on my desk for so long, I feel like putting them on the shelf, it's not right. Like, I got so used to seeing unpainted octopus man, glamour shots in a second, sitting on my desk, that it's gonna be really weird having him not there. My pile of shame became a permanent decoration, and now I'm sentimentally attached to my pile of shame. I'm gonna have to find something else to be insecure about. Found it. The Wendigo Warlord. This was initially supposed to be part of the big gore grinder build that I did a while ago. But, I ended up not building it completely because that video was already long enough. So this video was mostly created by just pushing the little scraps from that last video with the gore grinder, but making this guy. Everything else I just made for this video. Possibly the simplest build I've ever done, because it's literally just a Hot Wheels toy that I found at a flea market. Like, there's no modifications. I think the thing that really does sell it, though, is the mushrooms. I love the mushrooms and the little signpost. That is what makes this thing feel like one, and plus the darker color schemes as opposed to the bright blue. I think it really complements this thing's look, and it's why I'm calling this a skunk ape, and not Bigfoot, because skunk apes smell like skunk, stink bad, stink make mushroom grow, like foot fungus, mushroom. This is skunk ape. There we go. Add that to the big book of Gatlin lore. This was made out of Mr. Fantastic. He was weird and lanky, and I thought he could be a good doppelgänger, or mimic. Which is just it's a folklore creature that are often lumped together, or at least I lump them together, into this sort of half-human, kinda trying to look like a human, but not quite understanding proportions and all that. That's what I got this guy for. I've made a few of them at this point, like weird proportioned dudes. But this one's definitely the most out there. I'm not a big fan of this guy. I don't feel like the head fully blends in with the body. Same thing with the gun. It feels very out of place. I did go back and add some... Oh, I did go back and add some, like, goopy parts to make it look like the gloves were kind of melting into the skin. But I don't really think that sells the effect. Like, I repainted this 2 times, and I just couldn't find a color scheme that I was happy with. I might either scrap this model, or use it for something else. So if this body pops up at some point in a future video, you'll know why. It's because I don't really like this one, it kind of sucks. Oh, this one. This one is absolutely my favorite of the bunch that we've made today. The Octopus Cowboy. Now, I'm in love with spaghetti westerns and 1960s westerns, so I've wanted to make, like, more cowboys for a while, even though I already make quite a few cowboys. I just want to increase cowboy production by at least 300%. But the whole idea for an octopus cowboy has been floating around in my noggin for a while now. I was just never really sure how to make it. Like, how do I bend the arms to be the right shape? Do I sculpt it from scratch? If so, how do I hold up the arms for them to be in position? How do I get so many tiny plastic guns? Like, it was just... I kept putting this project off for the longest time. I first wanted to make this probably like 6 months ago. So it's kind of surreal seeing this thing as a fully finished model ready for the table. It's kind of fun. This is definitely my favorite one.